18 missing. A parasite that tunnels through the land. It stalks, it watches, and most importantly, it feeds. It'll find you when you're alone. It'll hunt you no matter what. And once it does, you're a part of its army. I was scrolling on YouTube until I stumbled upon a video made by this YouTuber. The video was about this game called The Missing Mulch. I was curious, so I decided to check the video out. Little did I know this would become a huge rabbit hole that would consume me whole. The year is 1993, in the quiet town of the Pine Hollow. The atmosphere is foggy, giving a sense that you're being watched over. The streets feel quiet, like no one's dared to venture even this far. Houses seem like they've lost their color or have just given up altogether. And most importantly, the street is littered with missing posters, mostly of kids. It feels like every corner you turn, you'll find a new missing poster. Something is clearly wrong with this town, but what? Welcome to the Missing Mulch. Wandering around town, it becomes evident that kidnappings happen a lot, from the abandoned bikes to the residents crying about their missing kids to the police reports discussing of these matters. So what is happening here? Well, in a treehouse of one of the kids, he claims he's seen his friend go missing to some boogeyman and tried to tell his parents, however they didn't believe him. In fact, the parents would enlist him into therapy after this interaction, believing it had to do with the trauma of his missing friend. However, not believing this kid is the last mistake you'd want to make. Something I realized that became evident were these weird wooden dolls being hung up everywhere, retaining a weird stickman-like shape and having what I only can describe to be antlers of some sort. This mystery goes deeper than most realize. I searched around the town a little more until I found a kid who seemed upset about his brother who disappeared and hopes he comes back. That's when I noticed a broken window. At the time, I didn't really think much of it. However, this detail becomes relevant once you visit this house, and, well, the footage speaks for itself. Mulch. It infests this hole, accompanied by these bodies. Well, what looks to be bodies. Whatever kidnapped these kids is hiding them right under our feet. However, do you see this weird green cylinder shape sticking out? I thought it was a part of a bike until I realized that wouldn't make sense since the body didn't really match ones of a bike. And that's when I connected the dots. Back in the previous house, we saw green army toys as if someone were playing with them, and they retain a similar shape to this. And that's when it hit me. What if whatever this boogeyman is doesn't only capture kids outside alone, but also captures them when they're home alone? That's when I realized I'm dealing with something different, something that can climb buildings, that can create this sort of weird pit. And this is going off of the assumption that one of these bodies is the body of this little brother that got trapped down here. Anywho, something to note is the way these bodies look. It's as if the mulch attached itself to the kids and slowly ate away everything that was organic, making it a hollow shell. And I wondered, is the reason why all the organic material on these bodies are gone is because it's using it to expand the pit? I have some evidence that also backs this theory up too. Wasp nests are everywhere, and wasps usually build their nests near mulch, specifically more likely to make it near organic mulch. And well, there is a lot of wasp nests, so I think it's safe to say this mulch is organic. However, if my theory is right, this implies mulch is everywhere. Either way, it's an understatement to say this isn't bizarre, and yet we haven't even scratched the surface. Inside this man's house, you'll find a crowbar, and far off, you'll find a motel with a key on the porch. I don't know what this is, I accidentally found it. Anyways, come to this house and play Hello Neighbor. Breaking into the basement, you'll find something. Ugh. This is the first time we get to see what this boogeyman looks like, and the look is anything I can describe to be nightmare fuel. On the wall, there's notes, 2 to be in specific. Here's one of them. I saw him in the caves. You need to go there. Go there! Go there! What cave does this writer speak of? Then the next note says, I've made a new friend today. I'm happy. Because I don't have any friends. He is nice. He makes me see what he sees. I could see what he thinks. He can see what he thinks. He could see what I think. We are together. Now, I don't want to be the one to jump to conclusions. However, as much as the MulchMan is presented to be this nice guy inside of these notes, I have enough suspicion to believe otherwise. First off, we literally saw the mulch hole, which I counted 3 bodies, so I'm pretty sure this MulchMan isn't gaining friends because he's lonely. He's planning something, and from what it sounds like in the note, it's almost like he's creating a hive mind. Expanding his army, if you will. Now after this, I went to this police station. There was a secret door on the side that needed a code. For whatever reason, the code is from this random kid's radio. Taking it, it allows you to enter into a new game called Evidence. And here's what I found.
I've been doing research, and I've recently found 3 things that may help this case. I've asked an elderly woman in this neighborhood about seeing anything strange. She's suffering from dementia, but as soon as I brought these certain cases up, she began to sob. She recalled visits from strange men in her early years. However, that was 60 years ago. Whatever it is, it's not something new. I just wish I could figure it out, but I'm so close yet, Hey! Phil found something. Phil found a body. Its eyes, its teeth, its hair, almost all of it was ripped out. However, the rest of the body looked undisturbed. I saw the photo yesterday. I can't sleep. I finally fell asleep, but I wish I hadn't. I had a dream. There were 50 people standing in a field. A black flame was there. Don't know what this means. I saw him. I keep seeing him. He's inside now.
This is pretty bizarre, but helps clear up a few things. This entity hasn't been here for a couple of years. It may date back decades. The body that was spoken about sounds like it was taken of everything in it dry, almost like it's being used for something. And to add 50 people standing in a field, I'm not sure what this could symbolize, but who knows. Now, the body. I assume this speaks of the MulchMan and how he feeds off of these kids in the mulch hole. Why else would the bodies look like they're a part of the whole now? It's almost as if the mulch is using their bodies to expand, grow, or in other words, spread. Now, I thought things couldn't look any weirder until I saw that 18 kids in total were missing. We found at least 3 bodies. Maybe there's more inside the mulch, who knows, but I had this feeling as if it didn't make sense. Why target kids? And where is the body the reader speaks of? That's when I noticed a safe behind me needing a code. At the time, I had no idea what it was until some random person came in and typed in 1993, the date this game takes place in. And what do you know it? It opens the door and... So that's what he looks like. I assume this is what happens when the mulch completely consumes you, or at least maybe a stage of it. It rots your skin, it shrivels your clothes, and takes your head off, leaving worms to infest your body. However, what interests me the most is that the mulch branches into an area, or maybe even outward. Maybe this means the mulch connects everything back into the hive mind, or it spreads. However, this would imply there's a hive mind of mulch somewhere. Where? That was my biggest question until I finally reached the park. The peaceful park, full of mulch. Walk around it, you'll find nothing. A cave of mulch. It twists, it turns, and of course it has bodies. Something that was truly bizarre, however, was this room. There are 11 counted bodies in this room. More if there were any underneath the mulch. What could this mean? Well, maybe this could be the body of previous mulchmen that have been killed off. However, I highly doubt so, since there's zero evidence that indicates that. And also, I'd feel like if a mulchman was killed, it would make headlines or be a bigger deal. Another idea that came to mind is maybe this is the final phase after the mulch consumes the body. After it's just bones and nothing left, it reconstructs it to create more mulchmen, which frankly does make sense. Anyways, if you wander around the caves a little more, you will find lungs, a brain, and a heart, proving whatever this parasite is, it's alive, and confirms my hive mind theory. Hello, I hope you're enjoying the video so far. If you are, please make sure to subscribe and hit that like button. It helps support the channel and helps tell me that people like this content. I've put a lot of time and effort into this video, and I just want that time and effort to be recognized. So please do so and enjoy the rest of the video. So we were given plenty of information, so let's quickly re-summarize what we've learned. In this town, people are going missing. They are being stalked by this mulchman. He will capture his prey when they are most vulnerable and use them to expand its mulchy parasite. A new question is raised, however. How are these mulch parasites even here? When did they arrive? Well, to answer that, you have to go to this abandoned church, pull the lever, and go to this metal gate hidden off from the path. It will lead to this weird mulch tower with a huge crack in it, beside it having Caesar text saying code, date, missing. Now, using this as a hint, it obviously refers back to the missing posters, and I was genuinely stuck on this for a while until a friend told me this was 356777, and you had to say it out loud in chat. I was very confused because where on earth you even get these digits from? And then that's when it hit me. The missing posters. There were at least 6 of them, and if you take the month of all the kids going missing and order it from the latest missing posters to the recent missing posters, you get the answer to this code. I gotta be honest, this code was kinda bullshit, guys. Once saying it out loud in chat, a portal will appear. Walking into it, it will take you here.
You know, there's only one way we're going to end all of this. You've got to go back in there. Find Carla. Because she's the one who's keeping the spirit alive.
Now, after you get close to this pillar, you'll find 8 statues surrounding this orb. Then, text appears on the screen. Soul and mind. We have been brought here. 223 years past. Natives, people of the land, woke us up. Wasp, soul, munched, mind. Something to note is the line, we have been brought here, sounding like they weren't native to this planet, or this could be interpreted as them being created on this planet, meaning that, whichever case being, they've been here for a long time. It then says 223 years ago, the natives of the land woke them up. meaning that they woke up around the year of 1770. Nothing else can be of note except this statue having tilted arms, maybe trying to indicate something, who knows. Anyways, we have more context from this scene, and now we can confirm that this mulch hive mind has been here since, well, the very beginning. Question is, did the natives mean to wake them up? Well, I wouldn't know unless I was there, which leads us to our last piece of information. If you walk behind the school, you'll see this huge metal gate that separates a part of the land from everyone. But why? Well, if you walk around the gate, you'll find a door that needs a code. Now, I couldn't think of any code that would work or a hint to get in, so I did the most logical thing. I shift locked my camera to the other side and opened the door and just walked into there. I know, I'm a genius. Anyways, exploring the woods, you'll find a huge pit of mulch. I assume the town thought boarding this place away from the public would somehow stop it from spreading. However, from what we saw in the mulch caves, the mulch can go anywhere it wishes. Now, if you jump into this weird pit, you'll eventually land on some mulch. Looking around, you will see an opening. Walk through it and you'll find logs for whatever reason just down there. If you walk on the wrong log, you die. Anyways, here's the way through. After getting through the logs, you will see a lot of what looks to be membrane, I assume. Making your way past it, you'll see...
They are finding something. They are opening something. It has taken them years, decades, century. They have found us. We have found you. We will be back. The land is breathing now.